Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Thanks for stopping by tonight, checking out some more cool old iron with us. Tonight we're back in the new yard, going to look at a couple of trucks, and we're going to wrap up with a really neat old Willys car that we don't see very often. So let's take a look at what we got to look at tonight. Starting off here, we got a 38, 39 era Ford truck. This was a pickup. Looks like it was a bigger pickup, like probably a 1-ton. No bed on it, but it did have the longer running boards. So it was a pickup at some point in its life, but obviously the bed's missing. We take a look inside, the seat and stuff's gone, and most of the stuff's gone out of the dash. Still has some trim inside of it. One of the really unique features about these 38, 39s is this 3-ribbed side panel on them. Very distinct feature, always able to tell a 38, 39 Ford with that 3-rib body line on that door. Come around the front, got some fenders that are banged up a little bit. Headlights, grill's gone. I do still have one grill for these in stock. If somebody does need one, I've got one in storage. Take a look at this side of it, kind of about the same thing. You know, not a ton of rust in this truck, just missing some pieces, but a lot of good metal and a lot of good stuff here. We are fighting a little bit of wind today, so hopefully that's not too bad. We do have a new microphone we're using, thanks to my buddy Grant with Straight Six Fan. Grant's kind of my go-to gear guy. He keeps me in the loop of what he thinks I should use, so I trust his judgment on that. So we're trying a mic that Grant suggested I use. So we'll see if that works, see if that helps. And be sure to check Grant out on the Straight Six Fan channel on YouTube and Facebook also. So let's head back around the Ford and check out an old Chevrolet. Not a lot left of this one also. This was a bigger truck. I don't think this had a flatbed on it. We can kind of see the remains of the flatbed this used to have. You can see the U-bolts of where the structure was mounted down. Some of the boards are still there. So this was a bigger truck. As always with a lot of this stuff from the 20s and 30s, I think this has a 6-cylinder in it. So for a Chevrolet, that meant it had to be newer than 29. So this is probably a 29, 30, 31 era Chevy truck. And what happens is as this wood rots out of these structures, because they use wood for structure in all these cabs up until the mid-30s, as they rot out, they fall apart, and this is a perfect example of it. We can see the metal cab panels here, and it's all just kind of falling in on itself, because as that wood rots out, the metal just kind of collapses. So, but the good thing about it, this truck does still have a lot of good sheet metal on it. You know, the hoods here, the cowls here, the windshield frames here, the cab panels are there. The fenders aren't even terrible. The headlights, the headlight bar. The doors are missing, but that's really about it. A lot of the rest of the pieces of this truck are actually still here. Even have some full-length running boards on this truck, so a lot of solid sheet metal left on that one also. So we're gonna catch one more tonight, and this one's something really different. This is a car that I didn't have any of and really had no knowledge of until I bought this place, and there's 3 of them in here. They're the Willys Aero sedan style of cars, made in the mid-50s, around 53, 54, 55. They made them for 3 or 4 years. Very limited production in all the body styles. They made 2 doors, 4 doors, different models of them, but there just was not a lot of them around. You just don't see them. Well, there's 3 of them in here in the new yard, so I'm getting a crash course in them. And here's one we've got right here, is a little 4-door. These are a really unique car. This one, which is kind of cool, was an Ace Deluxe. Kind of a neat deal. I never heard of an old car called an Ace Deluxe, but that's what they used. These were a unique car. We looked at the nose of this, kind of where we started. We got the chrome grille with the big W on it. We come around this side and get a little better look at it. They were a really unique body style, not necessarily what you would expect from the mid-50s, when bigger and flashier and better was always what everybody was after. These were a fairly conservative looking design. They of course did have chrome and stainless trim on them, but these were not a huge car like a lot of the manufacturers are going to. Kind of a short roof line. They did have a small tail fin type rear quarter panel where the taillights were mounted. We've got an Aero Lark badge back here because this was the Aero series of cars. Had a trunk lock cover that would flip up. The little cover's gone for that one on the W on the Willys. And we can kind of step back and take a look at it, and this, for that era, was not a big, huge, flashy car. So it's something kind of different, something that, like I said, I've never been very familiar with them. I'm getting a crash course in them as I go. But what's cool about it is it's something neat. And like I keep telling you on all these videos I'm doing in the new yard, so much different stuff in here, so much stuff that I'm not familiar with. So it's fun for me because I'm learning as we're going. So I'm figuring it out with you guys as we're going, as we're sorting through this stuff. So neat little cars. We took a look inside of this one a second ago, but a very unique dash. You know, the radio is mounted almost over in front of the passenger. You know, a very small dash cluster. Like I said, these weren't a super flashy car. And maybe that's why they never sold a ton of them. Maybe that's why they weren't that popular. You know, as you're leading up to the mid-50s, we were starting to see more chrome, more fins, more flash, more style. And these were kind of a utilitarian type vehicle. Although they did try to dress them up some. I mean, you can see the stainless around the windows, things like that. They did try to dress them up a little bit, but not near as flashy as what a lot of us think about when we think of the mid-50s cars. When you look at what GM and Chrysler were putting out in that time period, you know, compared to a more utilitarian type sedan like this was. So maybe that's why they never took off. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know a ton about them. I'm learning as I go. But neat car, and like I said, it's always fun learning more about this stuff. And that's what's fun for me. And then when you guys call to actually have these cars, I learn from you as you fill in some of the blanks for me on some of the stuff that I have not been that familiar with. So that's what makes it fun. That's why we're in this hobby. It's the friends we make. It's the connections we make. That's what we enjoy about it, and that's what makes it so great. So that's what we've got for you tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned Friday night for another Pioneer Village video. More cool cars coming from that collection. Thanks for being here. If you're on Facebook, please like the page and invite your friends. Share the page, share the video with your friends. Tell them to come over and hang out with us so that they can catch the videos as we do them. These are a lot of fun, but it's pretty boring without you guys being here. So if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about us. Have them get on with us. Have them come hang out so we can have a good time. It's all about sharing knowledge, enjoying each other, having a lot of fun in the hobby that we enjoy. So as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys taking a few minutes out of your evening. If you have specific questions about cars, you have to call me. 620-786-4428. That number's on the pages. And that's the only way to have a conversation about what you're trying to do. I need to know what kind of car you've got, what direction you're going with your build, what parts you need, things like that. Texts, emails, none of that stuff is ever clear. So calling me to have that conversation is the only way to do it so that we're both on the same page and there's no confusion. So anyway, thanks for being here. Glad you stopped by. Glad you took a few minutes out of your evening to hang out with me. Really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out the other ones that we've been posting. It's all old car stuff. That's all I know. That's all I want to do. So glad you're here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.